Hi everyone, welcome back to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System and I use they, them pronouns. Today I am bringing you all back to the library. We are in the young adult collection at the Mary Vincent Memorial Library. And today I wanted to show off our new books. These are the books that we ordered that were published through March and June of this year. So we have a lot of books. I'm not going to get into all of them, but you can check out the list. It's shared on our website. If you go there, like right on the front page, there's a link to our young adult Goodreads page, and in Goodreads there's a shelf for all the new books, so you can go on there and browse these virtually. And then if you see anything you like, what you can do is you can place it on hold through our website. If you don't know how to do that, there's going to be some instructions in the video notes, but you can also call us or email us or chat with us online, and we are more than happy to help you with that. And once you've got your books selected, you've placed them on hold, you can pick them up and check them out here at the Mary Vincent Memorial Library. If you go around to the back of the building where the book drop is, you can check out books there, and that's open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 2. And also, not just the new books are on Goodreads. We have all of our young adult books in there, and so you can just go on there. You could browse all of them, or we've got them divided into genres. So if you have a specific genre you like, you can just look through all those books. There's thousands of books and lots to choose from, and right now I'm working on getting all of our manga and graphic novels added to that, so stay tuned for that. So right now I'm just going to showcase some of the books that I've read from our new books, and then time permitting, maybe just pull some off the shelf that I think look cool and that I'm excited about reading. Alright, first up we have Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli, and this is a little sequel novella to her books Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda and Leah on the Offbeat. So if you haven't read those books, maybe you've watched Love Simon, which is a really great movie adaptation, or maybe you've watched the new Hulu show Love Victor. But this book shows you what the main characters are doing post-graduation. They've gone to college, and this is them communicating with each other via email and just letting you see a little bit into their lives. So it's very cute. Up next, we've got Bonds of Brass by Emily Skrutskie. This is a sci-fi adventure novel. It was really interesting to read, and I don't want to go too much into it, but I would say, you know, if you're fans of Star Wars, you'd probably like this kind of epic adventure. Oh, and this is also the first of a trilogy, so get excited. I love this book so much. The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. So he is a English author. He's from England, and this is a book that is in verse. So I think I read this in, an afternoon. It's very engaging and compelling, but this is the story of Michael. He is a mixed-race child growing up in London. His mother is Greek, his father is Jamaican, and it's like his coming-of-age story and his coming-out story, and there's just so much relatable content. Like, even though this is set in England, I feel like, all of us here in America can, like, relate to a lot of what Michael's going through, and it was just really enjoyable and profound, and I don't know, I can't say enough about it. I want everyone to read it, so please read this book. Okay, then we have When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. So I kind of just discovered Sarah Gailey this year, and I've read some of their adult books, which I very much enjoyed, and I was very excited that they wrote a teen book about witches because I love books about witches, and it did not disappoint. I think one of my favorite things about this book is the relationship between this group of girls, and that, I feel like sometimes in YA books, teen girls get written to be very catty and competitive, and like they're not nice to each other, and that always makes me sad. But in this, this is truly, girls supporting girls. They have each other's back through thick and thin. That's kind of the main point of this book, and they also have really great relationships outside of their friend group. And yeah, I thought it was very refreshing and interesting and like a unique take on magic. Ooh, okay. Also, totally love this book, Burn by Patrick Ness. I adore everything Patrick Ness has ever written. This was just a really unique story. It is set in 1957 in Frome, Washington. Yes, Washington, like the state out west. Anyways, but in this world, dragons exist, and they've made peace with humanity. So kind of dragons keep to themselves, but sometimes humans can hire them to work for them. So in this, the main character, Sarah, her father hires a dragon to come work on their farm. And this book is just, there's so much that happens in it. There's like a dragon worshipping cult, and one of the main characters is, I can't remember his name now, and I feel bad, but like he is like coming from this cult, and he has this special mission he has to undertake, and so these characters, their lives kind of come together at this like really pivotal, important like point in history. And there's a lot of other stuff going on, like, the Russians launching a satellite into space, and that is really important to what happens in this book. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and even though it's kind of has that fantasy element of, dragons existing, that's really kind of the only magic in the story. And even though, people have dragons, there's still like problems of racism during this time period. Like the main character, her mom is black and her dad is white, and then her best friend is Japanese American. And so they talk about like a lot of the racism that they deal with during this time. And her friend, who's Japanese American, I believe he, like, when he was a child was when the Japanese American internment happened, and so he kind of has those experiences he's dealing with. So lots of, actual historical stuff, as well as fantasy things and conspiracies, and I just really, really enjoyed this and can't say enough about it. I stayed up all night long reading it. So, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about some new manga that's come out, because I read almost all the manga that we buy. This was probably the one I was most excited for. This is Tokyo Ghoul Re, the 16th and final volume. I've been reading Tokyo Ghoul for years. I've watched the anime, and this, I can't say anything because spoilers, but let me just say that this was highly satisfying. I'm always sad when manga series end, but this one I felt really, really pleased with how everything, kind of came to its conclusion, and I'm really glad that the creator was able to tell this story and share it with us. Attack on Titan, new volume. I am so confused about what's happening in Attack on Titan. but I'm going to keep reading it. Kind of related to Attack on Titan. Ajin, Demi-Human. Some people have compared this to The Walking Dead. I kind of would compare it to the Old Guard movie and graphic novels, just because you've got these humans who can't die. They keep coming back, but instead of like the Old Guard trying to save people, this is like demi-humans who are very angry and are actually out to destroy humanity, or at least some of them are. Anyways, this is the 14th volume. It's intense. Yeah, My Hero Academia, volume 24. I cannot believe it's already volume 24. I enjoyed this volume so much. It is all about these villains, and let me tell you, prior to reading this volume, I was kind of like, I don't like these villains. I mean, I think that's usual that you don't like villains, but I really didn't like them, and then I read this, and I'm like, oh no, I like them now. So, very good. I have been reading this series because I am determined to keep reading it. Bungo Stray Dogs, 14 and 15. I will say that some very intense things happen that I was not expecting, and lots of twists and turns. So if you read the series, I think you'll be like shocked and very entertained. And I'm gonna show you some graphic novels too. Ooh, so heavy. I haven't read all of these yet. Got Banned Book Club, Shadow of the Batgirl. So continuing to get a lot of graphic novels written by YA authors. Check Please, Sticks and Scones. I love Check Please. I've said this many times, but highly recommend. So cute and fun. Fence, Volume 4. I also very much enjoy Fence. You know, if you like sports anime, I think you would really love Fence. I love sports anime. Love Fence. So good. Giant Days, Volume 13. I haven't read Giant Days yet, but I intend to someday. I need a time turner so I can read everything. Gotham High. And this one, I think, was written by Melissa De La Cruz, so another YA author. Lumberjanes, Volume 14. Again, I need to read Lumberjanes. That one's kind of also like middle grades-esque as well. And then we've got a new Miss Marvel, Volume 2. The Oracle Code. Witchlight. I read this one. It was cute. It's like a nice little fantasy story. And then Wonder Woman, Tempest Tossed. What else do we have back here? Let me do some more manga because I have to. Okay. I think this is, oh gosh, I'm not great. Aharu X Machine Gun, Volume 17. Bloom Into You. This is actually a light novel, so kind of just like a regular novel, but it's about not one of the main characters, but kind of one of the side characters. Bloom Into You, Volume 7. I will say this is one of my favorite, what they would call girls' love stories. It's very sweet, very cute. I like it a lot. Boruto, Volume 8, for all you fans out there. Citrus Plus, Volume 1. So if you've read the Citrus series, this is kind of continuing on with their story. The Demon Prince of Momochi House, Volume 15. One of the most beautiful series ever. I love the art so much. It's like a supernatural story. Then we've got Dimension W, Volume 16. This is the final volume. I have not read this series, but I really love the creator, some of his other series, so one day I'm going to get to it. And then another favorite, Saint Young Men, Volume 2, excuse me. I love this manga series so much. It is if Jesus and Buddha are like taking a break from being godly and they come to live in Tokyo and they have an apartment together, and it's just hilarious, like slice of life situations that they get into, and then yeah, you actually do learn a lot about kind of like Christianity and Buddhism and Japanese culture, and I highly recommend this series a lot. And we're kind of running out of time, but let me just look real quick. Lots of sequels, so let me pull this a little bit closer for you all. So, what are some really, if you like Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, this is Volume 3, Path of Night. And these novels are set kind of between each season, so they kind of fill in the gaps of what's going on. Aurora Burning, the first one is Aurora Rising. This is like a sci-fi, epic sci-fi adventure, and it's by the authors who did the Illuminae files, which I love. And there's a space elf, which is cool. Space elves are always cool. Julie Kagawa's Night of the Dragon. This is the third book in Shadow of the Fox. Okay. Lifelike. So Jay Kristoff, he was one of the co-authors of Aurora Burning. This is his, I guess it's more like, science fiction, futuristic story. Imagine Me, this is book 6 in the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. So if you've been following this, 6th volume. Here we've got Ruthless Gods. This is volume 2 of Something Dark and Holy. And honestly, there's just so many books that I am very excited about reading. So many good authors. And I wish I had time to go into all of them, but you know what? Maybe later this month I can read some more and tell you all about some more books, but I would encourage you to go on our Goodreads list so you can browse all these and find the ones you want to read and check them out. But yeah, I hope you all are having, a good start to August, and I'll see you next time. Bye.